Hello and welcome to turn 11 of this YouTuber multiplayer series of 7 guys playing the free-for-all of Dominions for on the internet. It is a lot of fun. As always, please be careful in comments not to give me spoilers about the going-ons of the other players. We aren't watching other's turns to try and keep the game as good and as interesting and exciting as possible. Considering the last turn, I basically sent every force army I had to try and relieve the siege of Ulm. And yeah, I don't know how well I did. I'm told there's a battle in Ulm, so that's a thing that happened. I was very concerned about how that battle would go, but I really didn't see myself as having much choice other than to attack. I couldn't let him just sit there and siege my capital. I'd be completely out of the game. That was a risky maneuver, but I believe it's something that I had to do. So before anything else happens, let's watch that battle. And I sent a whole bunch of messages to everyone else, saying like, hey, prepare for Ulm, making the great attack of our time against the forces of Asphodel to relieve the siege of Ulm. You know, great glory will be bestowed upon the forces of Ulm, or surely the entire land will be cast into deathly shadows. And yeah, there's one little mannequin with no morale. So he's basically just going to run away. So I won. So that's good, right? I won. But yeah, so basically he just retreated here, decided not to fight the battle. Now, there has been a lot of communication and diplomacy that's been going on, okay? I mean, communication with Man, he talks about helping, but he really hasn't been able to do anything useful. Vanheim, I was in talks with him. He says he can probably attack 86 quite easily, and there was talks about him relieving my capital if things went poorly. He says he's very vested in my defense. He even gave me a gift of 250 gold for this turn to help me spend on my defenses and whatnot. And Shinuyama, I've also been in talks with, has a plan to attack Asphodel, and he claims that he's going to be doing that next turn. I think he wants to get people into the lake and attack on the lake, or some underwater shenanigans. But really, it's only me, as far as I can tell, who's actually been fighting Asphodel, and it has not gone well. I've hurt him a bit. I've killed a number of his units, and we're on both sides of this pass. And the biggest concern I'm having is that he's probably just ranking up reinforcements to come back in. Shinuyama actually has convened the Council of the Living. A lot of communication now has moved into email because the in-game messaging is too slow, it's too ineffective, and it's too awful. So he actually sent out quite to convene an email group chain of the Living as the 5 of us, not the 2 Death Nations. And let me read that message off to you guys. Actually, this is just a message to me. To the noble people of Ulm, our Huragi have been heralding the good news and up and down the lands that the great people of Ulm have done the impossible and stunted, if only temporarily, the expansion of the undead. Now bear in mind, this was sent before I saw that tragic battle that last turn. We finally bring you plan of our attack, and know that although this message is late in arriving, the plan has been in execution for 2 months already. We plan to move an underwater band of Kappas into the lake which borders Asphodel on the west. It must be this lake then. How he gets... So he must be all the way up here, I guess. Jeez. To the west. From there we will engage in hit-and-run tactics of the sea, stealing undefended provinces, and tying up the resources in a game of, as you people don't know, might call it whack-a-mole, where governments play eat-a-mole instead, a somewhat similar game. In addition, we would like to provide the following corrections to your earlier scouting reports, perhaps a miscommunication, or perhaps a lack of knowledge, or a misunderstanding of your forward scouts. Asphodel's capital is in 45. This one. I was really just guessing, like I knew it was going to be around about somewhere here, so it's here. On the opposite side of the west hills of Italia, 51, that's this one. We are the current occupants of Shade Forest, 38, and it's great to be able to confirm that. We now border Asphodel, we're taking 36. As well, this stopped their expansion to that territory, we're happy to report. Asphodel territory starts at 34, which again I can confirm with my spies, and they are boarded very quickly by Emor to the south. Emor controls 21. So this is kind of where Emor lives. Which is just northwest of Wando province below Lake below Asphodel, so they appear to be very restricted in their expansion southward by Eremor and now by our southeastward. We saw an army of Black Centaurs in 34 2 months ago, and they almost surely have a priest with them to keep invoking their blessed state. Shinuyama really does not have much to deal with us right now. Our army will perform terribly against it, but your guardians should be very effective against them. North of the big lake of Asphodel's west, 59 and 67 are unoccupied by the undead nation. These ones. Again, so Shinuyama is giving me a lot of information that I can directly confirm myself, which is sweet. It gives me confidence that what I can't confirm is actually the truth. Where are we in the message? Notes we have not as yet attacked Asphodel. We will formally announce against them until we have snuck into the lake to their west to strike. We need this time to prepare our attack, from which we'll be able to lead a two-pronged invasion from the lake and also from the passage through the mountains west of Shade Forest territories 36, 34, 39. How far is your engagement with Asphodel of late? Also, where is your home capital located? We still do not know its exact location on A6. Also note, I know this is a long way off, but we expect Orm to the rightful claim to nearly all of the Asphodel lands. Yeah, that's a long way off. I can't even conquer my neutral provinces all around me. But that's a nice thought. So Tortuga-san also sent a message to the Council of the Living. I can't read out all of the messages. It's quite a bit too much, but I'll read this one out. Greetings, messages of all living nations. My couriers tire of running into the lands of Ulm, then Man, and Agathod, and Vanheim. A storm is upon us, the undead. Let us put all else aside for the moment, for one among us in dire peril. That's me. I shall speak the breath of my knowledge. Ulm is besieged by the terrors of Asphodel. They have suffered greatly and have asked for help, and well they should. Vanheim and Agathod are both border Eremor and have contained that undead threat, but our scouts report a stalemate there of late. All we know that the goblin folk are now moving to assist Ulm. We, the Shinuyama, have made a bold raid through the northern Eremor land as well, 2 provinces taken, to assist in the destruction of the nation of undead. After our daring raid on Eremor, we are now in sight of Asphodel, and we will be in their lands before the next moon. We also approach from the west of the Asphodel home with 2 armies. No one can deny that the Bakemono, mere goblins, have rallied to the side of the living. From this position we ask for the following. It's imperative that Vanheim and Agatha make a move against Eremor. Nothing less than the complete extinction will leave our now unprotected border with them safe. Man, though your armies are late to help, please send them post-haste to Asphodel territory. Every army you can now muster. We shall coordinate with you so that our armies maneuver without clashing themselves. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Man is actually doing, because he isn't really helping. Or if some better plans out there unknown to the common folk, reveal it quickly. The coordination of armies should be done at this council publicly for all to see to prevent the incidental collision and conflicts of armies of the different nations. The sharing of this information will put at ease. But not only that, with every nation spreading scouts throughout the land, any claim made here will likely be subject to the verification of at least one other nation's intelligence. With this motivation, let us speak the truth. Should any nation not pledge themselves fully and follow through faithfully, and let them long be the scorn of the other 4. Okay, so before we were all kind of just talking together one-on-one and trying to coordinate, and I was actually trying to play the game, which of appealing to each of the nations independently to try and like help me, because I didn't want to kind of deliver this kind of group responsibility, thinking like, oh, well, Man doesn't have to help because Vanheim and Tortuga are going to help, and then Vanheim doesn't have to help because Man and Tortuga are helping, and Tortuga doesn't have to help because Man and Vanheim are helping, and then if no one helps. Like, that's a common dynamic I've seen, because it doesn't really usually invest so much to help. You really want to strengthen yourself. So, and I'm also trying to walk the kind of delicate line. I don't know if it was really necessary to not appear too weak. I wanted to appear weak enough to need help, but not too weak that they'll give up on me and just invade my lands and take what pickings they can get. So, now what to do next turn? I don't know what's here. I don't want to risk another major battle with them. I just don't want to. I don't know if I can beat them. It's also difficult defending your capital province because I want my priest smiths and I want to do research in as well, but then to have them in the battle, I need them to be casting, and I don't know if they are going to attack, and I need the research, and I need to claim these provinces as well. So really it hasn't been great, but there's definitely an opportunity to try and increase my position. I just have no idea what this army is thinking. Are they going to re-attack? I don't know. Are they just going to get reinforcements to attack again? Because they're not, I mean, they're hurting my armies, just throwing themselves at me again and again and again. But he has to be concerned about Shinuyama, and also claiming these provinces would also help Asphodel as well. I need to get my spy here so I can see what's coming up. It's just such a priority. I have a spy here. I think I'd rather send towards Man. Ermor just doesn't pose a threat to me at all. Too far away. And Agathor really doesn't either. There's a province there through the mountain pass and through here. And one thing that I had completely neglected, and it's totally my fault, is completely misunderstanding how the Guardian works. Everyone's been telling me, hey, the Guardians are great against heretics, and I'm like, are they? They got castle defender bonus. This doesn't look great. And then now they look at this guy, like Lord Guardian, like he has Halt Heretic. This is a useful unit against heretics. What I completely failed to appreciate is that if you actually click on the damage value, there's this Bane of Heresy, and this gives an extra damage towards sacred units. And yeah, I'm looking like this felt really hidden. I expected if this guy had bonus against heretics to be here, where pretty much every attribute of the units go, but it is here. So these guys, seen as the main threat I'm facing is those centaurs, and these guys have a lot of extra bonus against centaurs. I'm gonna have to build them. It's late, and I feel bad about that. But better late than never, I guess. So these guys do a lot of damage against centaurs, and they might be able to one hit them or two hit them. So that's I must have these. It's just they must be had. I still really like Pioneers. The Guardians are basically double the cost. So if I wasn't fighting sacred units, I would still prefer Pioneers. But seen as the only issue I'm really having is Black Centaurs, it's time to get the Guardians out. Also seen as okay. Let's look at the events, because I got Yelek the Commander has joined. I lost gold, but this is awesome because this is Yelek the Commander, and I just get given this army, 40 units, mostly archers, heavy infantry. This is really nice. Stretch your time. This is really nice. I like this a lot. The other event I got was gold and Dominion. So I got some lucky, nice events here, which I'm really pleased about. I really felt like I could use some luck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send in all these guys. I'm actually going to use Battle Moose to research as well. My research is so far behind. I want to get... I tried Earth Grip. I wasn't pleased. I wasn't that happy about it. It was just too little. Earth Meld is just better, has more effects. Earth Grip has just one effect. So if I can just disrupt the Black Center formation by letting it full terrain, I think that'd be really helpful. And it's not particularly expensive alteration. It's 98 hit points. I can research it this next turn. So if they do want to come and attack, I'll have that new spell in my arsenal, and that'll give me an advantage in the battle. So, because I'm expecting maybe I would have to do a very big battle next turn. Also, one of the reasons why I don't want to do a big battle against Asphodel next turn is because this army won't be able to be involved. And if he does attack, I want to be able to break the siege. I want this army to be definitely part of the story. So, you can go. I'm using box formations because there's no moral penalty, is the reason. 46 out of 40, which is a neat idea, so I'm not going to take units out of it for fear of breaking it. But yeah, archers are nice. Okay. I don't know what he's doing here. He left this province with these two guys in there. Does he have a lot of province defense? I don't know, but seeing as I'm not going to defend this province, the other problem is to defend the province I have to have everyone on patrol, and it's just a mess. So if he does attack it, I'm going to try and relieve the siege again next turn. I don't know what he's going to do. Okay, so I'm definitely going to use Conrad. Yeah, might as well use the Pikeneers, I guess. Put them in a nice big line. Conrad can maybe behind the line. Divine Blessing, Servant's Courage, Holy Avenger. Yeah, so Holy Avenger, if he dies, any harm done to the Costume Priest will result in a Divine Bolt striking the midst of the enemy. So if he gets hit, right, he does just damage. That seems cool. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So I'm going to send him to attack here as well. So with these two armies, they'll definitely win. It doesn't matter how much province defense he brings in. I'm just thinking I might as well send in the Woodsman as well. I mean, I don't lose anything by doing that. So that's my thinking. And if he does try and do like, hey, I'm going to spend a lot on province defense. So next turn, he might try and retake the province, and then I'll just send this army back at it. The reason why I'm not sending my Pretender is I really need to research. I've site searched these provinces. There's actually a magic site in this province which I haven't had access to. And then from here, I'll either use Belmus to try and... A lot depends on what he does with his army. I would like to be able to send this army to try and reclaim some of these more neutral provinces. I especially want to get this throne. It's time that happened. Okay. But I still have 545 gold. Some people made comments about, hey, militia just being crap. And you know what, they are. I'm not expecting anything special from them, but I just need a little bit of extra oomph in my armies. Just more men in the field is just is better, right? So do I want militia, get some numbers, or would I rather have like 3 heavy infantry? This doesn't seem useful at all. So I'm gonna build a bunch of militia here. Let's just leave the woodsman alone for the moment. Or do I want more woodsmen? So I've got this guy, Stark, you can go collect those new militia. Let's get the... I know I just need another castle. I need temples. But I also just need to get an army I can reliably defend my lands with. And I know these units aren't very good, but they just help. I need a lot of help, really. So I think that's the turn I'm going to be doing today. There's been a lot of communication with the other guys. So Shinuyama is going to go and attack next turn, he says. Vanheim is ready to help if things go very poorly. Man, he might do a thing, who knows. Agathar, I think, is fighting Ermor. Vanheim says he's fighting Ermor, that's probably true. So Asphodel and Ermor apparently are just... like, it's 2 versus 5. And I guess they kind of understood that going in. I feel no sympathy for them because I got completely attacked by them. So what happened at the start of the game was, if Asphodel started here, he must have basically moved his profit one to just go with this direction, found my capital, was like, hey, let's go all in. Or did he go all in? It felt like he did. So yeah, I just put about 10 gold in province defense. Just if he wants to send 1 mannequin in to try and lay siege, then he can't. And it's very inexpensive to do that. It's not going to do anything particularly useful besides that. So I've got research done, I've got armies moving, I'm going to get this province back, it's a good province. And then I'll have to see exactly what's going to do from there. The reason why I'm going such overwhelming forces is I just don't know what he's going to do with province defense. I probably could send this army down here, but then I want this army to be next to my capital in case of shenanigans next turn. So I'm just playing super cautiously at the moment, waiting for the other factions to try and lay into Asphodel and try and strengthen my position as best I can. Okay, hopefully things go well, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.